the Ruko U11MINI 4K drone with camera. I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and unfortunately the weather hasn't been too kind for me to be able to get this review done. So we're actually on holiday at the moment, and it looks like we may have a bit of a calm couple of hours. So I'm hoping to get my first flight with the Ruko U11MINI. There are lots of other people who have done lots of reviews, and they've all screen grabbed the phones and showed you close-ups. What I want to do is I want to just make this a fairly quick and easy video for you to understand what's in the box, how easy it is to fly. You're going to get some videos of the drone in flight and things like that. So first of all, let's just get straight in on this one. So you've got your instruction manual. I'll come to this one in a moment. There is a quick start guide, and I've also got this card, overlay card, which I'm going to come to. So first of all here, as a drone pilot, make sure you know what the regulations are in your country of flying. This is a 249 gram drone, and so a lot of the flight laws aren't applicable if you have a drone under 250 grams. But drones need to be registered and things like this. You need to check what the rules are where you are on your drone. So I personally, I have got a full drone license, and my drones I do register and identify on them. The drone has got a 3 gimbal axle gimbal on it and everything like that. It's all done. But let's get into the box. So I'm not going to open these bags, it's a bit boring, but you've got a little screwdriver here, you've got some spare screws, and you've got some spare inside here thumb controls, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm leaving these in the bags for now. There's a data cable. There's 2 data cables, so you can connect to an Android phone or an Apple iOS, so lightning cable. There is a charge cable, and there is some spare propellers in here as well. So when you initially get the drone, this is a battery. I've got one battery on here, and if you look here, there is a USB connection, USB-C. Make sure you charge up your battery, and then on the front there are a series of lights that will show you when the battery is charged up. And then on the controller on the bottom, you've also got a charge port there just to actually do it. I mentioned the thumb screws, so if you notice, I'm just taking these, sit into the bottom of the controller, and they literally just screw on for when you're ready to fly. Take flight with the drone, and as I say, you have got some spare ones. If you've got any experience with other drones, the controls are fairly similar. One thing that I like here at the back is where your cable is fitted for you to attach the phone to here, and there's like a little slot to keep the cable away. See, it all does that, so that's quite nice. And then obviously, depending on your size of your phone, etc. here, that's where your phone is going to sit. You've got a gimbal control on the back of here. There's a photo stroke video button here. You can do a lot of this via the app, but that's to move the gimbal up and down. You've got on and off button, return to home. You've got 3 flight modes. You've got cine, normal, and sport. So if you want like cinematic drone footage where the drone's flying slowly, you've got your normal flight, or if you want to speed up, that's on the controller here. There is quite a bit of protective film on the controller and on the drone. Make sure you take all the protective film off. And then the actual drone itself is really nice. So the props fold in this way around here. So it has got some little feet on it for when you want to land. So to get the drone ready, open, open, and open. Straightforward. Again, if you've got any experience with drones, you'll know how this all works. The battery sits neatly into the back with a clip, and underneath here is a micro SD card. There are sensors on here for when you're landing, and you'll notice there are some lights on here for when this is in flight, and then there is a gimbal cover. So when you fly, make sure you take the gimbal cover over, and it is a 3-axis gimbal. On the app, which you download, so as I say, there is QR codes here. You will connect your phone to the drone, communicate, and then there is a quick way to take off, quick one to land, and there's lots of other modes. What I'll do is when I do take flight, I'll quickly sort of go through with what I'm seeing on here. As I say, there are loads of other tutorials where other people have screen grabbed themselves on here. This is great. If you've never flown a drone before, you can put this little overlay over like this, and it will give you your prompts to what's going on if you've never flown a drone. The joystick controllers are very familiar with other brands, so if you have got some experience, yeah, it's fairly straightforward. Up, down, left and right, spins the drone, forward, backwards, right. It's fairly straightforward. What I'll do is I'll just connect my phone to the controller just to show you how that fits on, and then you can see how it all works. Okay, so obviously depending on your phone, so I always have mine a bit cockeyed, so nothing gets on here. But you can see how the cable just literally just connects from the controller. So this is an Android phone into here, but there is an iOS cable on here. And then there are prompts on how to connect it to the drone. To actually connect it, you hold the power button on once. So press the power button on once and then hold it down. You'll see the display light up, and the same with the actual drone itself. You just press the power button on here and then hold it down, and it will, in inverted commas, come to life. As I say, I'm not going to spend hours going through all of the functions on here, but you need to know when you first fly this. So there are loads of tutorials. It's the app puts itself into a beginner mode, which restricts the flight height and things you can do. So once you've taken off and you've got yourself familiar, make sure you take the app out of beginner's mode. You can fly up to 20,000 feet. There's cruise control on here. There's loads of things like follow me, waypoints, points of interest. There's loads on here. I'm not going to cover all of those because I want to get straight in on here, and I'm sure if you've got a drone, you would want to do the same. It's also, as I say, this is the box it comes in. The great thing with this, it also comes with this hard case, so everything can be put away when you're finished. So you've got somewhere for the controller, the drone, all your bits and your accessories, your batteries. There's a little zip compartment up here. So it's fantastic that it comes with that case, and the case has also got a little carry handle on it as well. I think I've pretty well covered the initial things what are going on here. You can, it says that you can fly this up to 6 kilometers, and there's things like a signal loss return. There's a return to home. So if you're flying and you lose sight of the drone for whatever reason, you can press a button, it'll return to home, auto take off. The battery is, it says 35 minutes, so I'm going to be expecting about 20 minutes in real life. I've only got one battery. And as I say, make sure you understand the rules and regulations for flying drones where you are. Here in the UK, the drone should only be flown if you've got line of sight of it. The drone needs to be, it needs to be registered and things like that. Check out those regulations. We're going to go outside. I'm going to get a coat on and we are going to give this a very first test flight and come back to you and let you know how we got along with it. Right, so here we are. We've got the drone ready. Now, one thing just to bear in mind that's worth mentioning: when you put an SD card in, make sure that you use a compatible SD card that's fully formatted. And then when you come to handshake this between the controller and the drone, make sure you can, by the app, format the SD card. If you've got a faulty SD card, you're going to have a problem communicating between the controller and the drone. So all I'm going to do now, as I say, we're away the minute we're on the beach. We press the on button. I don't know whether you could hear that. We have got the lights on as well. We've got the gimbal there, and I'm choosing a flat surface to take off from, and then when we fire up the, so you have to hold your button on here. I don't know if you can see the flashing lights are here. So we just loaded up the app, and it's going to take a minute or two now to connect to the app on here. I don't know whether you saw here. So we've now got a quick single over, and don't know whether we can see. Now I'm not going to go through all of these functions that this has got, but we have got a GPS follow, image follow, we've got point of interest, we can put route rules on here, you've got the angle, you can even zoom in here, you've got gesture quick shot, so you've got hand controls, there's all sorts of other things you've got here. But what we're going to do for this is we're going to just take off and get some fairly simple footage in. We are going to be recording video, so I can do this via here, or on the back we have got a gimbal up and down, and we have got a photo video. You can take off by pressing the thumbs down to 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, but we're going to use the takeoff. So I don't know whether you can see here now, we've got all the green lights, we've got 100% controller battery, we're full on the drone, and we've got all the satellites are all on green. Here we're in beginners mode, so make sure once you've got used to flying, you come out of beginners mode, and here you can adjust all the things like your flight distance, flight height, return altitude. These are other controllers here. So we've got the SD card, we're shooting in 4K, whether or not you're going to have a watermark on, miles per hour, things like that, and you've also got flight records as well. So what I should be able to do here, I don't know if you can see the picture here now, I'm moving the gimbal up, and as I say, you can take off with a 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, but we'll do here. We're making sure that the drone on the floor is clear with the propellers and all the rest of it, so we're on somewhere hard standing. I'm going to slide to take off. Check the battery installation, it is securely in place. We're going to confirm the drone will elevate up, and we're going to take off. Sorry. So okay, so if you look at the controller now, we've got the drone up, and what we're going to do, I'm just going to turn this around, and as I say, we're going to get some footage in just to show you what the quality is like. I'm going to choose to start on the video, and I can move the gimbal up or the gimbal down. So if I move the gimbal down, look right down the beach. Now you're not going to be able to see the drone in the sky because it's going to be a little bit small, but I'm just going to come over here, and then we're just going to do some panoramics, and you can see some of the footage that we've got. So what we'll do now, I'm going to take the drone, as I say, there is an overlay here if you've never flown a drone before, but this will up or down and round, turn it round, then this will go left and right and things like that. So what I'll do, I am going to shoot some footage now, so keep watching and we'll get some footage in for you. Right, so we've just been in beginner's mode, so you have got some restrictions on, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the drone out of beginner's mode, and here you can get extra height and extra filming rights. So let's get some more drone footage shot. My eyes are really watering. Right, so I don't know if you can see the screen here, but we can go to cinematic mode, which is slow, normal speed, or we can go on to faster speed. And again, I can move the gimbal down. And then you can see the gimbal. That's not the drone moving, that's the gimbal, which is on my hand here. We can take some photographs rather than video if we wanted to. And you can see there the quality of this footage. And again, I'm just using my left thumb now, and that's, you can see where it's going over the beach, and you can see how stable the drone is at the moment. And then when you're happy, you can stop recording that. You can change to photo mode, and we can send some pictures in if we wanted to. And I'll go a bit higher. I'll just lift the drone, lift the gimbal up a bit. And sending the pictures over. Nice and easy, nice and stable. Right, so there's me and Sandra on here, and as I say, we can, if we wanted to, we can use the zoom function. It's going to go back, and just to prove, let's try and bring it into us. I don't know if you can see us there or not, but let's bring that there, and then stop there and take a photo. And there's a picture of us. Right, so I am going to manually land this, but on the controller there is also a return to home if you wanted to, and I'm just going to land it just behind me, all being well. So I'm just going to bring it in a bit lower, just making sure nobody's about. Bring it into land. I don't know whether you saw that, but all the propellers all shut down nicely. Right, so you've had some drone footage there. A sub 250 gram zone, which means, sorry, weight, which means you've got more flexibility on not needing a drone license and things like that. Do check out the regulations where you are, as regulations change from time to time. But if you're looking for a beautiful, easy to fly starter or a more advanced drone, then do check out the Ruko, this Ruko drone. As I say, it all folds up nice and compact when you're finished. You've got the smashing case, look how easy that is to fold up. And then, as I say, with the controller, the thumb screws can come out, they store in the bottom, and easy peasy. Thanks for watching, and thanks Ruko for allowing us to sample one of your products. We look forward to working with you in the future.